2 full calendar years, Denver Gymnastics returns home to Magnus Arena with fans in the building to accompany them as the Pioneers kick off their 2022 campaign, welcoming in the San Jose State Spartans. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside Magnus Arena alongside Marcy Jenkins. My name is Tyler Mon, in for Brad Thompson today. Marcy, Pioneers, 10th ranked program in the country, kicking off a season that has already been filled with challenges across college gymnastics with postponements and cancellations and COVID and travel and all types of stuff. But Denver and San Jose State is set to get it going today. San Jose State just arrived yesterday after some travel issues.
Yes, there's been a lot of issues across the country, and it's really great that these two teams have really come together, even though they both have COVID cases that are keeping some players out of the competition today. But they're doing this meet because they want to be in front of the fans and get some routines out in front of the judges that may not have had an opportunity otherwise. So I think it'll be a really interesting competition for us to start off an interesting season.
Pioneers do have some newcomers on this squad this year, 3 of them, but they also have some returning stars. Let's take a look at a few of those, including the Big 12's reigning all-around champ, Lindsey Brown, presented by Champion Windows.
And the returning seniors are Emily Glenn, Lindsey Brown, and Mia Sundstrom. They're all super strong, just great established athletes that have consistency. They know what they can do. They go out there, they get their job done, and it's a great experience to have those gymnasts here with some of the younger freshmen that are joining the team this year.
And for Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt in this program, it gives you so much to be able to lean on when you have that veteran presence back.
And Lindsey, I mean, she's an NCAA floor champion, right, from 2 years ago. I'm just an amazing gymnast. And then Emily Glenn is just one of those gymnasts that you can always count on, and she has the best execution, really, really tight in terms of form, and gets a lot of height and amplitude on her release moves on bars. So just a great joy to watch, and will be somebody that I think is going to really make a big impact this year.
And you hit it, I think, a minute ago. This is something for the fans today as the Pioneers and the Spartans get set to go here inside Magnus Arena. Weirdly enough, the last opponent that the Pioneers had before the pandemic hit, the San Jose State Spartans. Today, they'll do it again to kick off 2022. Denver Gymnastics is next on Altitude. Pioneer Gymnastics on Altitude is brought to you by your Front Range Toyota stores, the exclusive automotive partner of your Denver Pioneers, and the presenting Back inside Magnus Arena, we are getting set to go for the Pioneers opening meet of this 2022 campaign. Let's take a look at the injury report presented by Centura Health. today. The good news is there is nobody on the injury report for the Pioneers. It's a good way to start the season. Tyler Mon, Marcy Jenkins. I would imagine that there is nothing more that Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt would want to look at than an injury report that is fully devoid of names.
And we're kicking off with vault for the Denver Pioneers with Alexandra Ruiz. That was a great Yurchenko full. Good start for them. A little bit of movement on the landing, so a slight deduction, but great start. See a little bit crooked there as well. Just didn't get quite enough punch off of the table to keep it straight, but a good start for the Pioneers on vault.
Alexandra Ruiz, Mia Sundstrom, Jessica Hutchinson, Emily Glynn, Riley Mundell, and Lindsey Brown. Those are the 6 on the vault for Denver to start. And over on the other side for San Jose State to get things rolling on the bars is Jade Lopez, who will kick things off for the Spartans today.
Nice release move to the high bar. Good transition. The judges are really looking for those overshoots to the low bar to land in the handstand. Great job. Nice handstand there, really working on limiting the tense that the judges can take off. Double fly away. And a nice stuck landing. That was a great start for them on bars. Really, really executing to the fullest.
Very strong start for San Jose State as we'll take another look at the open today from Jade Lopez.
And she does a little bit of a simpler dismount. She did do a giant full ahead of that, which gets her some bonus tense in terms of connection, but a great start for them on bars.
Back over to the Pioneers, Mia Sundstrom to the vault.
And it's great to see Mia in the lineup. One of the fifth-year seniors, lots of experience. And this team has been plagued with COVID. They have a few people who are out or are not able to perform all events because of their return to competition protocol. That was a great Yurchenko full. Nice height and distance away from the vault. Little slight movement on the landing, but another great vault for the Pioneers. We'll watch here. She looks blocked straight up. Beautiful form in the air. And just a little hop on the landing, but great job.
You can tell based on the smile, as soon as her feet contacted the mat, she was pretty happy with it. So from Mia, we'll go to Catherine Waymiller on the bars for San Jose State.
And Catherine is from Littleton, Colorado. She's a freshman this year, so Colorado native, representing here in San Jose State.
A couple of Coloradans on the San Jose State roster. Sophia Konechki as well. She's a freshman from Denver. We'll see her a little later today.
We're just waiting for the judges to finish their scoring and give her the okay to go. You can see the score from their first bar worker was at 9.875. Again, a great start for them on bars. Little short on the handstand. Giant with a half. Twist straddle. Jaeger, great job. Nice handstand there. Hack salto. Little short on that handstand as well, just leaving a little bit of tense here and there for the judges to take off. But overall, moving well in this routine. Double layout, slight step on the landing. So probably 2 or 3 tenths off in just those deductions that I mentioned on that bar routine, but another great routine for them, especially early in the season.
Jessica Hutchinson up next for DU.
Nice vault. She gets great height. She's a gymnast on this team that just has such great technique. It's great to see that. Her on vault too, again coming back from, we'll see here, beautiful height. You can see that form in the air, just kind of breaks out to the landing, slight hop, but we'll see another strong score for the Pioneers on vault.
Shares a hug with her head coach, Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt, the longtime leader of this Denver program, as Lauren McPherson gets set to go for San Jose State.
And the University of Denver has had 2 9.8s so far. Actually, correction, their first vault was a 9.7, so Alexandra Ruiz was a 9.7. I believe that Mia Sundstrom's was a 9.825. Looks like a 9.8 for Jessica Hutchinson.
There's a look at the 6 for San Jose State. We are on Lauren McPherson in that number 3 slot for the Spartans.
A little short on that handstand. A little close to the bar too. She let loose a little bit early. So it was a little close to the bar. The judges might take a little for that deduction, but nice overshoot to the low bar. Nice handstand there. Giant with a full. They really want them to finish that right on top of the bar to a full twisting double flyaway. Little step of the landing, so get little slight deductions, but overall a really, really solid routine. The difficulty of this team on bars is very strong. They just need to pull it together and see how she's a little crooked there as she was swinging down, and that's what led to her dismount requiring a little step on the end.
There you take a look at Denver's vault lineup as Emily Glynn sets out.
And Emily does a soup full. Beautiful vault, very difficult. Starts out of a 10, slight hop on the landing, but great execution. She was right in the middle of the mat. That vault has just been getting better and better over the years. Watch the block up, beautiful form in the air. She's right in the center of the mat, exactly what the judges want to see. Great landing.
That'll bring up Emma Milne, a junior, one of the international members of the San Jose State roster, a Canadian from Barrie, Ontario.
And one of their strong all-arounders as well.
It is a good crowd in the house today here in Magnus Arena. It has been since March 8th of 2020 since fans were fully able to be back in this building for this program. And, you know, I mean, it's 2 years. In any other context in life, you think, well, 2 years is not that long. Probably feels like it's been a decade for these Pioneers athletes and coaches. And it adds emotion to a day like today when you're opening up a season, yes, but when you're doing it with your fans in the building for the first time in so long.
It makes such a big difference. And, you know, these gymnasts, coming to college is what you come to college for, is the crowds and is the team camaraderie and being able to help each other and support each other, because you come from such an individual focus in club gymnastics, and they've really missed out on a lot of that over the past 2 years, which is really unfortunate. Beautiful handstand, transition to the high bar, hack salto, beautiful form. Nice handstand there. Little short on that handstand, but still moving very well through this bar routine. Right on top of the bar, exactly what the judges are looking for. Setting up for a dismount, double flyaway. Little step on the landings. Just, again, little tiny tents here and there, but beautiful bar worker.
Denver's sophomore from Parker, Riley Mundell, coming up after we take another look at the bars from Emma Milne.
Riley is a great vaulter. Super explosive. 1.5 twist. Beautiful landing. That's one of the best I think I've seen Riley do in competition. Great height and distance from the vault and just planted those feet. Watch here. She'll do a back handspring on and then a 1.5 twist. Look at the form in the air. Beautiful. Just spots that landing and brings her heels together. Beautiful vault.
Jada Missouri up next for San Jose State. Pretty steady starts on both sides today.
Absolutely. It's great to see, especially with all of the travel issues that this team had to deal with coming in to compete here in Denver today.
And San Jose State only competed 5 times all of last year. They delayed the start of their season to the end of February. So this is a team that hasn't gotten a chance to be out in this sort of atmosphere a lot over the last couple of seasons.
Giant with a half. Height front row. Beautiful height and distance from the bar during that transition. Nice back salto. Really a strong routine. A tiny bit short on that handstand. They could take a little bit of a deduction there. Nice landing. Really the only thing I saw in that routine was that slight miss in the handstand. So we'll see what the judges do, but overall, great bar routine.
That brings up the Pioneers last on the vault, Lindsey Brown, and you hear the ovation for her.
Nice landing. See, her career high is a 9.975. It's just so great to see Lindsey in this lineup. You know, a few years back she tore her Achilles, was out for the season, came back and has just done amazing work. 1.5 twist, slight hop on the landing, but she just makes it look so easy.
She really does.
Another great vault. That vault starts out at a 10.0, so watch, she'll get some good height here, block, little bit of leg separation or crossing in the air, but great landing, just a slight little hop.
And Alexa Solomon last to the bars for San Jose State. It really is great to see. Obviously, there's an extra year of eligibility for so many athletes across collegiate athletics with the pandemic and cancellation and postponements of seasons and stuff. And, you know, for so many athletes, I think that conversation was, well, do I move on and start the next stage of my life, or do I give this one more go-round? And for somebody like Lindsay and the rest of these fifth-year athletes on this Pioneers roster, you get to do it again in front of fans, and you get to have that experience to leave your collegiate career on and not performing in empty buildings and all of the things that went along with the 2021 season.
Absolutely, and there's something to be said for having a fifth year. You've done your 4 years, you're in this fifth year that was given to you to try to make the most of it, so there's a little less pressure too, which is great for those athletes after having a lot of pressure the last 2 years. Beautiful. Oh, a little close to the bar. You can see she had to really muscle over. That took a lot of strength for her to keep this bar routine moving. I'm very surprised and impressed that she was able to do that leading up for a dismount. And it's unfortunate because she is an absolute beautiful bar worker. She's super tall, which makes it even more difficult, but she just knows how to swing bars, and it's just unfortunate. Right there, she was just a little too close. She, again, let go of the bar for that release a little bit too soon, which then as she came over the bar was just a little too close and couldn't make that overshoot on the low bar. And then a double A, it just takes it all out of you, and you have to muscle through those routines. So not the routine they were hoping for, but a good, strong routine for the rest of the season for them to look forward to counting on.
And an exhibition spot here for Mercedes Sanchez, who will step in behind the 6 in the lineup for San Jose State. Alexa Solomon wrapping things up for the Spartans, the junior out of Newbury Park, California. Mercedes out of West Hills, California. She's a grad student as well. Another one of the fifth years in today's event.
Just a quick update for Missouri's score. Before this last routine we saw was a 9.925, so great routine for them. Just waiting for the judges. Oftentimes trying to score those routines where they have that type of a mistake is a little bit difficult because it depends on whether you're going to give them credit for the skill and how much you take off in the deductions between the two. So that's what they're working through right now, but it looks like we're getting ready to get started.
The recovery for Alexa Solomon to even be able to stay on the bars was
pretty
impressive
amazing,
itself.
Amazing strength.
9.325 is where she finishes.
A little short on the handstand. Giant straddle, beautiful. Right into the overshoot on the low bar. Now that's not a deduction that she didn't hit the handstand because she came right out of that release. So a little short on that handstand there. Really wants to work on hitting those. So dismount, double layout. That's a nice exhibition routine for them. Again, they need that depth to be able to count on if there's any of their athletes that go down with COVID or they have any injuries. So it's great for her to be able to do that in competition. Again, this routine will not count toward the team total, but just gives her an opportunity to compete against the judges.
So steady start on each side, and we will step aside for our first timeout of the day. Denver Gymnastics season opener on Altitude. Inside Magnus Arena, the Denver Pioneers and the San Jose State Spartans switching. Pioneers headed over to the uneven bars right in front of us. San Jose State will move to the vault. First action of 2022 for either of these sides as we take a look at our first action of the day.
And this was an amazing vault. Watch the height, just really plants her feet. Beautiful 9.925 vault from Riley Mundell. Great way for the Pioneers to start this first competition of the season.
Pioneers 49.225 on the vault. There you go. Look at all the individual scores for Denver. Riley Mundell leading the way.
And they're really only 0.075 away from their season high last year on vault as a team for DU. So this is a great start for them. Again, a few gymnasts here coming back from recovering from COVID. Just amazing they're able to do this level of skill with very little practice.
That's the other crazy thing about this season as we'll take a look at San Jose State's work on the bars, but the amount of time that so many athletes have missed out on.
When you're talking about a sport like gymnastics, you really need those numbers in the gym, and it's all about timing and repetition. Beautiful dismount there on bars. Strong routine, but it really is all about that. It's muscle memory. It's really hard when you're out of the gym, and those protocols, even if you feel okay, you still can't come back to the gym until the protocols have been completed. So these gymnasts are out for longer than they normally even would be if they had a cold or had any other type of a virus. So it has been really hard on everyone so far.
Well, Pioneer fans, Transamerica and Denver Athletics proud to recognize the January Student Athletes of the Month for their recent academic and athletic achievements. This month's student athletes, senior women's basketball player Anna Jackson and freshman alpine skier Cooper Cornelius. Congratulations to both. And yeah, it is so many things for us to discuss about the lead into this season. We'll get to when we come back after a break. Denver and San Jose State from Magnus Arena on Altitude. Visiting San Jose State, Spartans headed to the vault as we welcome you back into Magnus Arena. There is the lineup for San Jose State. Cameron Kelpris will lead things off for the Spartans. Pretty good start, though, for San Jose State. 49.075 on the bars. Now they get a chance to switch sides. Very strong start for them, and I think, on vault, they're definitely not they don't have as much depth in terms of difficult vaults that we saw from the University of Denver, but I saw them warming up, and they look very strong, so we'll see how this rotation comes together for them. Cameron Kelpris getting set to go for her squad, a junior out of Long Beach, California. This ends time warm-up period. On bars first. For Denver will be Alexandria Ruiz. Pioneers on the other side will open things with Alexandria Ruiz on the bars. That's where we will open things. Thought we were going to go to San Jose State to start off this second swing, but Denver will kick it off. And again, a number of these gymnasts on the team have had COVID as of recently and are, obviously past all the protocols, but we were talking before just the endurance it takes to do a bar routine and any other routine here in gymnastics, beam or floor, takes so much. And when you're out, not only because you're out from practicing, but when you're out and unable to breathe, it makes the return really hard. So kudos to these gymnasts who are able to come back and put together a routine just like that we saw from Alexander Ruiz on bars. That was absolutely beautiful. Great start for the Pioneers, and just really shows that grit and determination that these gymnasts have coming back and really wanting to put it together here for the fans. Well, and Marcy, that's what I was going to ask you is when you're out with any sort of illness, obviously, and you're a collegiate athlete, you miss out on practice time and all that, it's tough regardless. But when it comes to dealing with COVID symptoms, if it's been a respiratory issue or even just a cough or even just the fatigue of sitting around and kind of letting your body atrophy for a little while, how much do you think for these athletes it feels like you're sort of starting from scratch as we move over to Cameron Kelpris on the other side for San Jose State? A lot, and that was a decent vault. She had a lot of form breaks there in the middle there. You could see her feet separated, so we won't see a super high score, but great height and distance. She has a lot of power, just needs to really hone in on that. And in terms of the impact that it has on these gymnasts from COVID, it really is, it's all about that ability to get the circulation and get the oxygen flowing and be able to have it support the things that their muscles are doing to get them through their routines. And when you're talking about your pulse ox going down below, 92, 91, even into the 80s when you have COVID, I mean, it takes a lot for your body to recover. There's people who don't do athletics at all that take, 3 to 4 weeks to recover from COVID. So again, lots going on across these teams, but really, really impressive. Rosie Casali up for Denver on the bars. Nice transition to the high bar. Beautiful. A little short on that handstand, but nice form so far. A little tiny bit short on that handstand. Double layout. A little bit one-landed. She let go a little early on this dismount and had to really pull it around, but another good solid routine. See, this is the overshoot, not quite on top of the bar all the way, so they might take a slight deduction there. But then turning up her dismount, watch, she just lets go a little bit early. You can see whenever the bar bounces like that, it means they peeled a little bit early on that dismount. Just makes it harder for them to get that rotation around before landing. Jada Missouri, who started so well with the 9.925 on the bar, is up next on the vault for San Jose State.
She does a half on. Yurchenko with a pike off. We'll watch that again and see. It is a little more of a difficult vault because she's doing another half turn right here onto the board and another half turn off with a pike. A little bit crooked in the air, so just lacking a slight bit of pop from their shoulders. They're off of the board, but difficult vault.
One of Denver's fifth-year seniors, Mia Sundstrom, set to go on the bars.
Free hip to handstand. Reverse hecht. Pack salto. Nice handstand. Really moving well in this routine. A little short on the handstand. Double layout. And a stuck landing. Great job. Again, little tiny deductions here and there throughout the routine. Not anything significant, but another great routine for this Pioneer squad. Watch here her dismount. Great height. See how the bar, very little movement compared to the last gymnast that we saw with Rosie Casali. And you can see what happened at the end. She was able to stick the landing.
Already a good start to the day. Mia was at 9.825 over on the vault and a strong showing on the bars as we'll move over to Lauren McPherson.
Full. Pretty big step on the landing, so that'll be about 2/10 deduction minimum there on that landing, but really nice height. Really watching for that block off the vault. Beautiful form in the air. Just a little bit of pike down, and so she over-rotated and needed to take a step back, but great vault.
Here comes Denver's grad student from Longmont, Emily Glynn.
And I love watching Emily on bars. Again, she has great technique, and she does a release move that not a lot of gymnasts do. It's called a ginger. You'll see it here toward the beginning of her routine. And she finishes with a really hard dismount too. Here's the ginger right here. Beautiful height. Nice handstand. Overshoot right to handstand. This could score really well if she can make it. Beautiful right on top of the bar. She does a full twisting double flyaway. Let's see how she does on the landing. And a stuck landing. That was beautiful. This DU squad came to compete today. Watch this, release move, beautiful, look at the legs. Just a teeny bit of separation, but it's really hard for the judges to see that because it moves super fast. But watch this dismount, great height, full twisting double flyaway. Knew exactly where she was and stuck the landing.
Celebration from her teammates. Very fitting for a routine of that caliber as we'll go to Michaela Gentry on the other side for San Jose State.
Another Yurchenko full. A little bit of form work in the air, but again, nice height. They're getting really good height and distance away from the vault. Something the judges are looking for. She gets good block. Look at the height. Nice height. A little bit of pike down. Probably could kept her body a little bit straighter and wouldn't have had to take as much of a hop on the landing, but great job.
First vaulting competition for the freshman from Oklahoma City for San Jose State, and here comes Riley Mendel.
You can see she has a 9.975 career high bar. She's absolutely gorgeous on all four events. We saw her already hit that 9.925 on vault. Beautiful height on that reverse hecht. Toe hand. Overshoot. Nice. Great connection up to the high bar. Nice handstand. And her dismount. Little tiny hop on the landing, but again, great, solid routine. Watch this reverse hecht. Look at the height and distance she gets. Absolutely beautiful. And this dismount, watch the height. Little bit of bounce back on that landing, but good job.
Denver assistant Lena Skaveka, the biggest cheerleader for this Denver program, right off to the side of the mat. Loving the fist pumps. And especially after the last couple of routines, which have been fantastic for Denver.
Next up is Madison Kirsch on vault. Yurchenko, 1.5 twist in a tuck position. Great vault for her. Nice height, little step on the landing, but I saw her warming this up, and not a lot of gymnasts do it this way. Most of them do it laid out, but she actually has really great form in the air. Just a little slight step on the landing.
It is really pretty awesome to hear the energy that goes through this crowd every time Lindsey Brown's name is announced. So she's up last for Denver on the bars. But it is a roar when her name goes over the speakers.
You can see the score in the background for Riley, a 9.9. Great transition to the high bar. She does another pec salto back to the low bar. And they've changed up her bar routine. She used to do nice job handstand. It might take a little bit of a deduction just because she had a little bit of loose back there in the half twist. But nice handstand. So far, moving great. All she has left is a double flyaway. Little tiny step on the landings. Great job for the Pioneers. I'm very impressed with this squat on bars because, again, they've been struggling to get the numbers in practice because of COVID, and they come out here and they hit it on this event. Look at that. Great job. Just slight little hop on the landing. Maybe a half a tenth, but absolutely beautiful.
And Jade Lopez to round things out for San Jose State over on the vault.
See, her career high is a 9.75. She does a Yurchenko full. Hiked down a little bit. That's why she had to take that step back on the landing, and a little bit of form breaks there in the air. You'll see not quite the straight legs, toes pointed, legs together that some of the other gymnasts have. See a little bit of form bend there, but overall a great finish for them on this rotation.
So, Pioneers and the Spartans move on. DU with a very good start at Magnus Arena. We got more coming up. Pioneer Gymnastics on Altitude. Back inside Magnus Arena through the vault and the bars. Let's take a look at some highlights. The Denver Pioneers hosting the San Jose State Spartans for the first action of 2022.
And another strong performance from Ralia Mandel, the sophomore, here on the uneven bars. Great finish. Watch this dismount, a little bit early, but great job. slight little hop on the landing. Beautiful routine.
9.9 for Riley on the bars. And San Jose State on the vault. With the results from both sides, we'll take a look at the Pioneers
And great
first.
routines. You know, Rosie Casali just had a little bit of a step there on that dismount, but 9.775 for their lowest score to drop, and then everything was above a 9.8, exactly where they want to be at this point in the season. I'm super, super impressed with their ability to pull this together.
Well, and the amount of times that we've talked about how difficult it is when you haven't had a full and normal offseason. Here's Madison Kirsch from the vault a few moments ago.
And here's that 1.5 in a tuck position. Little tiny step on the landing, but great job and good solid vault for them and a good rotation.
9.8 for Madison Kirsch, leading the way for her side.
And a 48.875, that's great for them. Their vault high last year was below that. So this is the highest vault team score they've had in the last couple of years.
Pretty impressive starts on both sides, and especially for this being the first meet of the season, to be in a position where, especially for San Jose State, the travel issues, they didn't get in until yesterday after supposed to be in town a couple of days ago. It's pretty impressive to see the way both of these squads have come out so far today. Pioneer fans, today's DU Alumni Report brought to you by your friends at Breckenridge Brewery. Michelle Kasuga, a DU gymnast, 2000 to 03, 3 perfect 10 routines to Pioneers, still in the top 10 in vault, bars, floor, beam, and all around, and currently a Denver resident. Breckenridge Brewery, a proud sponsor of Denver Athletics.
This ends your time warm-up period. Want to hear some noise? Denver on the lead. First up, Lindsey Brown.
they waiting for us?
I don't know. Monitors are out. Back inside Magnus Arena, the Pioneers and the San Jose State Spartans kicking off this 2022 campaign. Tyler Mond, Marcy Jenkins. Marcy, we're getting set to go for the beam and the floor. Pioneers will kick it off on the beam with Lindsey Brown. And for Denver, a really good start. And after a long layoff, just the Crimson and Gold intra-squad back in December. Got to be pretty thrilled, I would imagine, if you're this Pioneers coaching staff, for the way these first couple of turns through have gone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Probably beyond expectations. I talked to Melissa yesterday, and she said, they're going to be putting up some people that haven't had enough of those routines in the gym because they've had to be out, and so it's just great for them to be able to see with that mental toughness, and that's where part of Lindsay and Emily and Mia, they know this. Like, they've been doing this for the past 4 years here at DU, and they know how it all works, and they are calm and collected, and I think it's actually helping this team to be that way as well. Just the rest of the team members are really feeding off of that really positive and confident energy.
So Denver and San Jose State about midway through this meet now. Pioneer fans, today's DU Gymnastics Alumni Report brought to you by your friends at Breckenridge Brewery. We're going to look at one of the members of the Pioneer family, Michelle Kasuga, who was here from 2000 to 2003. 3 perfect 10 routines during her collegiate career, still in the top 10 in program history in vault, bars, floor, beam, and all-around scores, and currently a Denver resident. Breckenridge Brewery, a proud sponsor of Denver Athletics. You may have heard us as soon as we got back from break. I was noting to Marcy that our judges' monitors off to our right are off right now, so I think we're trying to get those fixed for the judges at the moment, and still kind of holding right now. But, Marcy, the amount of is now Lindsay set to go, so we'll lay out and let Lindsay kick off the beam for Denver.
And Lindsay has been the starting routine for the Pioneers for several years now. She's really calm, really confident up here. Nice front flip into back handspring. That's her acrobatic series. And that's what you want. That's what Melissa needs here on this beam lineup, is somebody that they can count on for this first routine to be extremely solid and hit. The scores tend to build over the course of the rotation. Beautiful scissor split into split jump. Aerial walkover. Nice connection. That's a gymnastics acrobatic connection that gymnasts are required to do. Really, so far, a great routine. Getting ready for her dismount. We'll see a gainer full off the side. And it's slight hop on the landing, but overall another great start for Lindsay on the beam for the Pioneers in this rotation. And here's her dismount. Great height. Just a slight little hop on the landing, but beautiful routine. I love that smile.
And on the floor for San Jose State, Antonia Marquez will get things started for the Spartans. Started the music just a second too quick, and the judges waiting to put the green flag up. Now we're ready to go.
See, 9.825 is her career high on floor. Starts with a half twist into a Rudy, or 1.5 twist. Low on the execution of those, so she'll have some slight deductions on her beam series. Getting ready for her last pass. Double tuck. Good solid start for them. She did a 2 tumbling pass routine, which we see from a lot of the gymnasts here in college. They make up for the difficulty that they need in their dance moves. So we'll watch this here. Nice height on the double tuck. You can see her spot the landing. Judges looking for that chest to be up. Good start for them.
Here is Emma Brown on the beam for Denver.
Lindsey Brown's score was a 9.825, so great start to the Pioneers. And Emma is beautiful on balance beam. She was here at the Pioneers 2 years ago, left and then came back this year. We're so happy to have her back at the University of Denver. Aerial walkover into a back tuck. Nice connection. This is her leap series here. Nice job. She wobbled a little bit in the inter squad meet on that, but right over the center of the beam. Anytime your head goes back and you lose sight of the beam, it makes it more difficult. Aerial cartwheel, great right over the middle. This team is on fire today. Full turn. And all she has left is her dismount. Gainer full. Stuck landing. That is probably the best I've seen Emma do that beam routine. She really was right over the center of the beam on everything, just looked super confident. Watch that aerial walkover, back tuck, right in the middle. And then her dismount here, gainer full off the side, no movement. Absolutely beautiful.
It really feels like with that strong start on the vault, Alexandra Ruiz and Mia Sundstrom, everybody getting rolling from that, they kind of set the tone. It's felt contagious since then. Denver started so confident, and that has played throughout all of these routines so far that we've seen today. Jade Lopez will step onto the mat for her first
And the
shot
score
of
on
the
floor for that first performance was a 9.75. First pass is a double pike, nice height. This for leap series. Scissor side into a popa. And a 1.5 twist into a front layout. A little bit of form in that 1.5 twist. Slight deduction there, but very strong tumbling pass. And last pass here. Double tuck. A little bit of hop forward, but another nice tumbling pass. Strong routine. Not as much difficulty as we're going to see from the Denver squad coming up. But let's watch this middle pass here. It's a 1.5 twist, back flip with a 1.5 twist into a front layout. And then her last pass was a double tuck. She gets great height. Again, this is at the end of the routine. Nice job.
Kelly Schlattman steps up for Denver, the Pioneers junior out of Minnesota.
And so far, Emma was a 9.85, so on the University of Denver beam, we have a 9.825 and a 9.85. Great start for them. Really fighting to save it, but it's hard, just a little bit crooked. And Callie, one of those gymnasts that's not always in the lineup on beam, is constantly working really hard to make sure that she's there in case they need her. Filling in today. It's unfortunate with that acrobatic series at the beginning because the rest of the routine is very strong. Dismount, handspring to gainer full, slight step on the landing. So a little disappointing. They'll definitely want to drop that score for the Pioneers.
Kelly Schlotman, Denver's third on the beam.
Watch here. You want to get punch out of both legs. Oh, this is her dismount. Sorry, the back handspring full twist dismount. Great height on that one, actually.
Cameron Kelbris's turn for San Jose State.
To a front full. Nice leap. It'll gain her some bonus tenths. Double tuck, nice height. And a strong routine for them. Another 2 tumbling pass routine. You see the height, round off, double tuck. Great finish.
Bella Mabanta up next for the Pioneers. Sophomore from Frisco, Texas.
And Bella has amazing flexibility on her leaps and jumps on this event. Beautiful to watch. It's a wolf turn. Those are very difficult to do. Even though they may not look like it, it's one of the more difficult skills to do on balance beam. Here's her acrobatic series, back handspring, layout step out right over the middle. Beautiful leap. Watch this leap series. Scissor side, or scissor half. She usually connects it with another one. It's a little bit crooked. So that was a makeup leap series to get her credit for the connection. Just looks a little bit timid on the beam today, but again, first meet of the season, coming back from not having competed a whole lot last year. I don't believe did anything at the inter-squad meet earlier in December either, so really her first time in front of the judges this season. But has stayed on the beam, which is what they need. Back handspring, full twist, full 1.5 twist. Nice landing. That's a new dismount for her. So great routine. They really needed a score that they could count on, and she came out with a great routine. A little bit of bobbles here and there. You could tell a little bit of nerves, but really was fighting hard to stay on the beam and get a solid score for them with that beautiful split that she has. Again, just a little bit crooked on that last jump. And her dismount, back handspring, 1.5 twist. Again, new dismount for her this year. Beautiful.
Over to the floor and San Jose State's Lauren McPherson next.
Double height, great height. Nice first pass. scissor ring into scissor side. Great split in those jumps. 1.5 twist into a front layout. So far, a very strong routine. With all the routines so far, this one is definitely choreographically put together very, very well. Alongside all of the great tumbling and jumps, we should see a really good score for this routine. Assuming this last pass is executed well. Double tug. Great job. Nice routine. We should see a really strong score for them on this event from McPherson. This passes that 1.5 twist into a front layout. And then her last pass, the double tuck. Round off a handspring double tuck. You'll see her chest is a teeny bit down right there, but nice finish.
Here is Abby Thompson for Denver on the beat.
You see that career high 9.95. When Abby is on, her routine is absolutely beautiful. Watch this series. Aerial cartwheel into layout step out. Super difficult, and she makes that look like she's just taking a slight jump on the beam. It's absolutely gorgeous. Two scissors foot leaps. Really looks super confident up on the beam. Full turn. All she has left is her dismount. It's going to be an aerial cartwheel into a full twist. And a stuck landing. That was gorgeous. That is one of the best routines I'd seen Abby do, and that's amazing to say at this point in the season. Absolutely gorgeous. Watch this. Aerial cartwheel into a layout step out. Look how beautiful. Right over the middle. Perfect form. And then this one too, aerial cartwheel into a full twist. Again, right in the center. Just pulls those heels together for the salute.
So much poise in that routine from Abby Thompson, as Denver's got one more on the beam. But before we get to Riley Mundell, here's Jada Missouri for San Jose State.
Punch front layout into a 1.5. Nice front tumbling pass. Nice split. You can see that 180-degree split in that straddle jump. In every little part of these routines, even though it looks like it's dance, counts, and the judges really like to see toes pointed, legs straight.
Hey, what's up with that?
And the fluid transition between moves. Double pike, great landing, exactly where you want that to be. Chest up. No movement. Great job. That routine is going to score very high.
Really impressive day all around both of these programs.
And she does front tumbling here, so front layout into 1.5. Great height on both the first and the second. And then watch, she does a double pike here at the end, which you get bonus 10s for ending with that difficulty of a move, and executed perfectly.
And Riley Mundell will round things out on the beam for Denver.
And Abby Thompson's score was a 9.8. I can't spring layout step out here for Riley. Right over the middle. Riley is a physics major and received a really special grant to do some work. But if you want to check it out through 9 News here at Denver, they highlighted that story, and it's just super amazing that she was able to get that this early in her college career. I mean, these gymnasts aren't just gymnasts, they're scholar athletes as well.
And it is good to read the story because it's way too complicated for me to try to explain.
Aerial cartwheel. She's just a little bit nervous, you can tell in this routine. Really wants to stay on. There's her dismount, 1.5 twist. Nice landing. So missed a few connections in there, but was able to stay on. We'll see a little bit of deductions, but not her best routine, but she got the job done. The handspring layout, step out. This was great. Right over the middle. And then her dismount, also very strong. 1.5 twist, slight step on the landing.
And to finish things up on the floor for San Jose State, here is Carly Orca. Carly, a senior from Tucson, Arizona.
So far, the high score from San Jose State on floor was a 9.85 with McPherson. We're still waiting for Missouri's score. Looks like it's a 9.85 as well. Nice scissor ring. Double pipe. Beautiful scissor ring. Little short on that second split jump. Beautiful dance. Setting up for her last pass. Front full, front full. Nice front tumbling pass to finish off the routine. Strong finish for them on floor. They've got to be proud of this rotation. Started off with some solid routines, just little deductions here and there on form breaks and things, and finished up with the last 3 routines very strong.
Pioneers and the Spartans set to shift it over. Denver headed to the floor. San Jose State to the beam.
Nice double pike.
And we will step aside, bring it on back to Magnus Arena as the first meet of 2022 continues its Denver Gymnastics on Altitude Sports. you know you can purchase DU tickets, view live stats, order concessions, and more on the all-new Denver Athletics and Recreation app. Download the app today for free from Google Play or the App Store. The DU app, your one-stop app for Denver Athletics and Recreation. Back inside Magnus Arena, Tyler Mon, Marcy Jenkins. Marcy, let's take a look at some highlights from the beam. Abby Thompson, fantastic for Denver.
Beautiful beam routine, and I actually think her score was a little bit low. They may have taken a bit off in her leaps for not being 180-degree split, but that was an absolutely gorgeous routine. And a strong rotation for them. They had a little bit of jitters, one fall that they didn't have to count, luckily, in their team score. But overall, a good rotation for them.
For the Pioneers, as Denver starting off so strong today on the vault and the bars. We'll also take a look at the floor coming up here in a moment from San Jose State. Some highlights from the Spartans. Lauren McPherson, the one to spotlight today.
And she had a great routine. Lots of high, flying, tumbling. Great execution in her leaps and jumps as well. This was that last calf, double tuck, really high. And a strong performance for them.
San Jose State coming in today with really steady showings all across, and a 49 in total on the floor exercise.
And that is a great team score for them. Their floor high last year was a 48.95. So again, scoring higher than their last year's highest team score. And having 3 scores above a 9.8 is great. They're definitely going to want to get a few more of those right up into that level, but good performances for them. And they've got to feel good going into beam.
Encouraging start to the season for Joanne Bowers and her program. Here are those DU beam results. What stands out? I mean, obviously, we're looking at Abby Thompson, how successful she was, but Emma Brown and Riley Mundell as well, 9.85. Really good stuff.
All great routines. You know, it's interesting. Once you have a fall on the team with Callie's fall, the next routine is going to be a little nervous, and you see that with Bella there. She just had a little bit of nerves and wasn't able to make those connections, but everybody did their job to make sure they got over a 49 on this rotation.
And we will step aside. Pioneers and the Spartans head to the floor, and the beam trading places next on Altitude. Pioneer fans, the Burt Simpson Law Firm reminds you that when the game is on the line, call 303-790-2525. Burt Simpson Law, good lawyers, changing lives. Back inside Magnus Arena, Tyler Mon, Marcy Jenkins. Marcy, this schedule is challenging right out of the gate for the Pioneers. Today, home, then on the road for 3 weeks straight, and obviously no slouches on the schedule coming up.
There's a lot of action that's going to be coming up, and 2 meets, pretty far away in the Eastern time zone, so that's difficult when you're going from mountain to 2 time zones away, so that'll be a difficult transition for them. And then they've got Oklahoma after that, which will be a great meet for them and a good Big 12 competition pair up with Oklahoma, and then back here against New Hampshire. So again, it'll be an interesting 3 weeks to see how this team holds together, but luckily, hopefully they've got the COVID-ness behind them.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, that Oklahoma matchup coming up on the 30th. The Pioneers took down the top-ranked Sooners last year, winning the Big 12. And there will be a lot of storylines going into that one. But for this stage of the season, to be able to get one at home to start things off, and especially with how good Denver has been so far, how important is that when you head out on the road, you go to Columbus, you go to Morgantown, you go to Norman, to start on this footing seems like it's a good way to build early season momentum.
It absolutely is, and the fan base here in Denver is amazing, and the fact that the meets are all in Magnus now is making such a big difference because they can have more of the fans here, and you really do feed off of the energy of the crowd. And so starting at home, getting this great competition underneath their belts, going into those away meets is going to be exactly what they need to get this season started off to the best of their ability that they can.
Just waiting on the start of the floor for Denver, the beam for San Jose State. We're going to step aside one more time, bring it on back to Magnus Arena. More Denver gymnastics ahead on Altitude. just about set to get going as Catherine Waymiller will open things for San Jose State on the beam. And on a Sunday afternoon inside Magnus Arena, Tyler Mon, Marcy Jenkins, Pioneer Gymnastics' first action of the season here on altitude as we kick off this 2022 campaign. Catherine Waymiller kicking things off. Jada Missouri right behind her has been terrific so far today.
They have done a great job, and this team really has impressed me with their execution as well as the difficulty. They've really added a lot more this year than I've seen from them in years in the past. But I will have to say, in this rotation, you will notice a difference with Denver on floor. Denver has a lot more difficulty on floor. So we'll see potentially some higher scores if they can execute well.
We will start over on the beam. Catherine Waymiller will kick things off for her side, the freshman from Littleton, member of the San Jose State program. One of two Coloradans, as we discussed earlier, along with her classmate, Sophia Konechki, who we will see coming up a little bit later.
And it says a lot for the confidence that the coach has in this particular athlete as a freshman, putting her up first on balance beam. Again, you really want someone that you can trust is going to be consistent. Scissor split lead. Scissor half a little bit low on the split on the second half of that lead with the half turn, but great connection between all of those. Handspring, step out. Was able to save it, but that will still be about a 0.3 of a point deduction. But great for her to save it and stay on the beam. And her dismount aerial cartwheel into a full. Slight step on the landing. So a good solid start. Not exactly the best routine to get them kicked off in this rotation, but no major falls, just that one bobble after this. See, she's just a little bit crooked, but she was able to stay on. But anytime you have that big of a balance check, it's going to be at least 0.3 of a point deduction. And then here she does an aerial cartwheel. A little bit of pike down this way. She had to step back, but a good solid start for them.
Bella Mabanta up first for Denver on the floor.
Look at that split and flexibility starting off the routine right away. She really is a beautiful dancer. One and a half twist into front layout. Does a wolf turn, like we saw her do on beam. I just love to use floor routines this year. They've had a new choreographer the past few years and just really fun to watch. Really showcase each gymnast's personality well. Watch this lead series. Super split. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Over 180-degree split. It's hard to see at that camera angle, but absolutely gorgeous. Leaves nothing for the judges to take off. Punch front layout into 1.5. Great finish. Beautiful start for the Pioneers on floor. It's great to see Bella Mabanta back into this lineup. Watch this beautiful last pass, just great execution. Front layout, great form in the air, beautiful. Nice finish.
Great work from Bella Mabanta, so we'll move over to Jada Missouri, second up on the beam for San Jose State.
Hitch kick into an aerial cartwheel. A little bit of balance check, but not much. A little slight balance check there too, just showing a little bit of nerves. Handspring, layout step out. Nice recovery there. It's really important on beam to just go aggressive and attack the beam. That's when you're going to do the best. And anytime you let that little bit of nervousness or don't go after the skills as 100%, that's when you end up getting crooked or end up with a fall. Beautiful split in that jump. Getting ready for her dismount. Round off 1.5 twist. Pretty big step on the landing, which is unfortunately about 0.2 of a point deduction because that was a really nice routine with just a little bit of form checks here and there. Watch the split on this. Huge, 180 degrees. Just gorgeous. And then that dismount, again, a 1.5 twist. We see this from a lot of the gymnasts. Little step forward.
Here comes Emma Brown to the floor for the Pioneers.
And the Pioneers are without Jessica Hutchinson, who last week got a 9.9, or at the inner squad got a 9.925 on floor, so she'll be a routine they'll definitely want to add back. But Emma's stepping in here on floor also has great potential. She does a 2.5 twist. Scissor ring. Nice jumps. A little bit low on that second jump, but made it all the way around, so the judges will hopefully give her credit for that connections. Finish. Another strong routine from the Pioneers. Again, stepping into the lineup, not someone they typically have in the floor lineup, just doing her job and doing it well. Here's that 1.5 twist into a front layout, right in the middle of the floor. And then that last pass, front handspring, Rudy, or a 1.5 twist. Great job.
Jade Lopez up next for San Jose State on the beam.
Back handspring layout step out. A little tentative on that finish, but she was right over the center of the beam. Into a scissor side. Again, just little tiny small deductions, but overall really good so far. Aerial cartwheel into a tuck full. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be tucked or laid out, but she covered it up well regardless. And that was another good routine for them on the balance beam. Here's that back handspring. This is a difficult series. Back handspring layout, step out, and she's just making sure she can fit both feet in there before the edge of the beam, but great job. And then her dismount is here, an aerial cartwheel into a tucked full and a stuck landing. Great job.
Here's Riley Mundell ready to go for the Pioneers.
And Emma Brown scores a 9.8. Great job for her on floor. Riley's had a great meet so far. She'd like to finish out this competition with a super strong floor. This is a new routine for Riley too. It's really fun to watch. point deduction for going out of bounds. But at this point in the season, it's better to do that than to be under. Should get things under control. Nice leap series. Punch layout into a front full. She has one coming pass left. Beautiful height. Great floor routine for Riley. Again, just a little step out of bounds on that first tumbling pass. But at this point in the season, not something that I would be super worried about. She'll get that under control, but everything else was just perfect. Here's that double pike. See, she just has a little bit too much rotation and has to take a step back. And then watch this last pass. Super big height on the punch Rudy.
Now Lauren McPherson's turn for San Jose State.
Right over the middle. Super solid. She's really had a strong meet today. Gainer layout step out. See that a lot in college competition, but beautifully done. Dismount. 1.5 twist. And a stock landing. That was a great beam routine. She'll take up the whole beam, back handspring, layout step out right over the center of the beam. And then this dismount, really wanting to finish this off with a bang, and she did. No movement. Great job.
Here comes Emily Glynn for Denver. On the floor, the Pioneers grad student from Longmont.
Riley Mundell's score was a 9.775, so again, would have had a 9.875 had she not stepped out of bounds. Double tuck. Little bit of too much rotation and had to take a step out of bounds. That'll be another 1/10 of a point, but leap series. Really important to make it all the way around in those leaps and jumps. Perfect way you want to finish this routine. And a great routine for Emily again. Just a little bit of extra bounce there after her first double tuck. Ended up having to go out of bounds. Won't be a significant deduction, but this last pass was beautiful. Watch the height she gets, and this is at the end of her routine. Double pike, it looks like the first pass. Chest up, exactly what the judges are looking for. So won't be the score we'll see from her later on in the season, which is because of that deduction at the very first pass, but a good, strong start for the Pioneers.
From Emily Glynn on the floor to Emma Milne on the beam for San Jose State.
And Emma has scored a 9.925 on this event, I believe. Her career high. Another aerial cartwheel into the handspring and out, step out. Super difficult. We saw that from Abby Thompson on the DU squad. Look at that split she gets on her jumps. Just gorgeous into a back handspring swing down. Another difficult to do. I can see why she's scored so high in the past. Really balancing that athleticism and flexibility. It was a slight bobble on that full turn, but nice jump series. Again, that second jump gets some bonus 10s. So you're taking your eyes off of the beam. Aerial cartwheel into a full twist and a nice landing. That is going to score well for them today. Great routine on beam. Their last performer, McPherson, got a 9.9, so exactly what they were looking to do on beam today. Strong beam squad. Watch this dismount. Aerial cartwheel into a full twist. Nice landing.
Abby Thompson up next for Denver on the floor.
And Abby has some amazing difficulty in her routine, especially the last tumbling pass. So I'll cue you that when we get there. Double pike, nice landing, makes it look super easy. This is a really fun routine. The crowd loves it.
AC/DC centric. Good musical choices.
Great split on that lead series. Again, really don't want to leave any 10s for the judges to take off. Front layout into a Rudy again makes it look so easy. And she did 2 passes this time. She typically does a triple full at the end of her routine, but she has enough difficulty in the rest she didn't need it, and that was a great routine for them and very smart. Watch this pass. It's her middle pass. It's a front layout into a 1.5 twist. Great finish. That was going to score high for the Pioneers here on floor today. A nice dance. Really having a great time out there.
Great work from Abby Thompson, and here is Madison Kirsch. Final one to the beam for San Jose State.
She has a really cool mount. A number of the gymnasts in the Olympics did that for their mount this year from the U.S. squad. And then a back handspring half twist. A little bit of form breaks there. So even though it was super difficult, she stayed on. They're going to take some deductions for that. It's really a balance between going for the really difficult skills or doing simpler ones a little bit more with better amplitude and keeping your legs straight and toes pointed, because you can get those deductions and 1.5 twists like she did on vault. So a good routine. She stayed on, but she left room for some slight deductions throughout almost everything she did in that routine. But this is a really cool mount. And then here's that dismount. She does back handspring into a 1.5 twist. A little bit of form breaks. A slight step, but was able to hold on and do a good solid finish up for that squat on beat.
Bringing it home for the Pioneers on the floor is Denver's fifth-year senior Lindsey Brown. She's getting a pad moved out of the way. Now set to go.
And this is a fun routine to watch. Remember, we're watching a national champion on floor. Watch this first pass. Double layout. Beautiful stuck landing. Fifth year for these seniors from last year is all about, is them being able to have this opportunity to play in front of the crowds that they didn't get to last year. 1.5 twist into a front layout, absolutely beautiful into a jump. No deductions there. She makes that look so easy, and the timing on that is just so critical. Scissor ring, beautiful. All she has left is a double pike at the end of her routine. Double pike. Beautiful landing. Wonderful routine from Lindsey Brown. That is worth a 10. I don't know where the judges are going to take any deductions, but I would say that that's a 10 today. We'll see what the judges do, but that was absolutely gorgeous, and what a way to start in this season of competition in front of the fans. They're all yelling 10. Watch the second pass. 1.5. Look at the just height she gets on all of these. Connects right to a jump. Absolutely gorgeous. Right in the middle of the floor. And then double pike. Perfect.
This crowd went nuts the second she stuck that final landing, and that 10 chant breaking out as Lindsey Brown, we talked about it earlier, the amount of energy that she puts through this crowd. An exhibition on the knee now for San Jose State. Man, that was impressive stuff from Lindsey Brown.
And difficult front tuck mount. Again, don't see that a lot in college, but great way to start the routine. Handspring layout, step out right over the center of the beam. Abby Thompson's score was a 9.925. Waiting to see what. And it looks like it's not going to be a 10 for Lindsey. It's a 9.975. One of the judges found 0.25 to take off somewhere. I'm not really sure where, but great start to the season. Great routine. It's got to feel good as an exhibition performer. You're really trying to get into this lineup, showing that you can do it here under pressure. Back handspring. Gainer full off the side. Great landing.
Pioneers at 196.725, the team score. And, I mean, it's around, as we've noted a few times, you come back for your fifth year for moments like that. And to be starting the season on that good of a note is pretty amazing.
Exactly. And for her, it's just icing on the cake, right? I mean, she has had amazing accomplishments in her career so far at Pioneers, but just to come in and be able to have a routine like that in front of this crowd, kicking the season off exactly how she wants to start.
Pretty awesome stuff for this Denver team on a Sunday afternoon here inside Magnus Arena. Stick with us. More Denver Gymnastics ahead on Altitude Sports. a fun afternoon at Magnus Arena as the Denver Pioneers open the 2022 women's gymnastics season with San Jose State in town. Let's get some highlights from the final stretch on the beam and the floor for San Jose State and Denver. We'll kick it off with Lauren McPherson on the beam for the Spartans.
She really had a great performance, super solid, lots of difficulty, really fought for that landing, and just an amazing performance. They really had some strong beam routines today.
Here are the overall results for San Jose State on the beam, and you see Jada Missouri, a terrific showing, Emma Milne as well. This is a pretty impressive day from San Jose State for their first meet of the year.
Very impressive, and they went all out and were doing some very difficult things, and I think through the course of the season, those scores will definitely get higher. But great to see those strong scores from Lauren and Emma specifically. Those were beautiful routines.
And for the Pioneers on the other side, a fantastic showing from Abby Thompson on the floor, one of a handful of fantastic showings on the floor.
Again, beautiful double pike, just had a great fun time in her routine. Nice pass there, front handspring or front layout into a Rudy. And then of course Lindsay, our NCAA champion, double layout, stuck pike. That doesn't happen very often. And then her last pass, just beautiful. Makes it look so easy at the end of her routine. Look at that smile. Just having a great time here in her 5th year.
She closes with a 9.975 on that floor routine today. And for Denver, I mean, this is about as good as it gets, I would imagine, for the first meet of the season.
For the first meet of this season, it's great. And uncharacteristic from Riley and Emily, just that step out of bounds. I mean, they would have been at a 49.4, 49.5, which is right up there with their season high scores as a team. So really exactly where they want to be this point of the season. And they were missing Jessica Hutchinson, who scored a 9.925 in their inter-squad meet. So they have great depth here. Just great performances today.
197 team score for Denver, 195.950 for San Jose State. What a day for the Pioneers of Magnus Arena. More next from Magnus on Altitude. back inside Magnus Arena alongside Marcy Jenkins. I am Tyler Mock. Great start to this 2022 season for the Denver Pioneers. We'll take a look at some highlights from this season opening meet between the Pioneers and the San Jose State Spartans. But overall, Marcy, I would imagine Melissa Kuchar-Reinhardt's got to be pretty thrilled with today.
She's got to be super thrilled. I spoke with her yesterday, and I don't think she was expecting the performance that we saw today. So this team really came together and really showed what they're made of.
Let's take a look at some highlights. We're going to start things on the vault for Denver. Take us through it all.
And again, great vault, beautiful height. Just maybe a little form break in the air. They took off for a deduction, but 9.925, great start for them. Then we move on to the San Jose Spartans, and Madison did a great job here with a Yurchenko 1.5 in the tucked position. Just slight step on the landing, but difficult, and good solid vault for them there as well.
Pioneers able to kick off the day with a very good start. Riley Mundell 9.925 on her first vault of the season.
And again, we'll expect to see high scores like that from Lindsey Brown and some of the other DU gymnasts as the season goes on. Emily Glenn's capable of that with her soup full. And you can see there the San Jose State, just that in that execution, just not quite as much as the University of Denver, but great job all around.
To the beam we went as the Spartans moved along today.
And that was a beautiful pack salto to the low bar transition. And then her dismount here, layout, double layout, stuck, hold. Exactly the type of landing the coaches are looking for. And then we move to Riley Mundell. Her overshoot to handstand, again, great execution, making sure she's hitting all of those handstands. And then she does her double layout with a little slight step on the landing, but great routine. And overall, a strong rotation for both.
The amount of excitement from these rosters today. I mean, just to be back in a building and be taking part in an event in front of fans, and really, I mean, a much more mixed group in terms of the high scores on the uneven bars.
But all those 9.8s and above, which is great to see at this point in the season, super early.
Then to the beam as the Pioneers kind of started to assert the consistency that we saw throughout the day really showed itself on the beam.
And Abby Thompson just rock solid today. That aerial cartwheel into a layout step out, and then her dismount. Rock solid again. I was expecting a little bit higher score than she got, but beautiful routine. And then the Spartans super impressed with their difficulty and their execution. Beautiful 3-trick series. And then really fighting for these landings, trying to grab every 10th. Just a great performance for them here today on the balance beam.
Lauren McPherson led the way with that 9.9, but Emma Brown, Abby Thompson, and Riley Mundell all at 9.850 for Denver.
And usually from Denver, we do see some 9.9s, and there was just a little bit of nerves, and we had that fall from Callie early in the rotation, which maybe threw things off a little bit, but we'll see some higher scores from them in the future. But again, really good start for this point in the season.
And then to the floor, the Pioneers, we thought maybe we would see a 10 for Lindsey Brown, but San Jose State got things started on the floor.
They did, and again, their first few routines weren't quite as strong, but these last few were really good. Great double pike, really building, and then the double tuck at the end. Nice execution. And then on to Riley, who again had a great routine. But that's Abby Thompson with a great double pike. And then her front layout into a 1.5. Again, she took out her triple twist, which she typically does as her last pass, but very smart to do that. And then we've got Lindsey Brown with her beautiful double layout, stuck landing. And then finishing up with this double pike. Just beautiful.
Such an outstanding day from Lindsey Brown. I mean, we come to expect so much for her, and a 9.975. She was fantastic. Denver, so impressive on the floor.
Very, very impressive. Again, I was impressed with San Jose State and some of their latter performances. I think just that execution is where they need to work on it. But this Denver squad has the potential for greatness this year on floor.
Pioneers kicking things off at home and then on the road for 3 straight. Time to meet our gymnast of the meet, presented by Centura Health. Actually, we'll do that here in a moment after we look at the final team results. Denver with that 197 to take this win. San Jose State, that's a really impressive start to the season coming on the road.
Really impressive. They didn't get a 195 at all last year. Their high score was in the 194. So that is absolutely great to be on the road, getting that level of score at the first meet of the season. The Pioneers, again, 197. There are not very many teams in the nation outside of the top 1, 2, 3, and 4 teams already in the rankings that got a 197. They're in a small crew for this weekend to get a 197, and that is telling. And they should be ranked in the top 10, which they are.
Say, to start the season with a performance like that when you're already number 10 in the country, pretty impressive stuff. And now time to meet our gymnast of the meet, presented by Centura Health.
And it was Riley Mundell, again, solid on every single apparatus. Just really, really consistent for them. She really is coming into her own here on this Pioneer squad, a sophomore. The great rounded package of athletics and her work in the classroom, getting that grant that she got to do her physics research that usually only grad students get. Just an amazing, amazing student athlete.
Pretty incredible stuff to start the season for the Pioneers, and just a great day for Denver Gymnastics. Have fans back in this building, a lot of fans back in this building. The atmosphere that was here today, this was a fun afternoon.
It was a very fun afternoon, and it's so good for them to be back in front of the crowd. I know there was hiccups because people were out for COVID, but they were so glad to be here, and I know the fans are really happy to be back in the building.
Our Denver weekend is not over. Coming up tomorrow evening, we've got Pioneer basketball back at home against North Dakota State. Denver yesterday taking down North Dakota. This game originally was scheduled for Thursday, got pushed back to tomorrow night. So I'll be in the booth with our good pal Greg Lackey tomorrow, filling in for Todd Romero, just as today, filling in for Brad Thompson. Had some family engagements this afternoon, but join us tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the Pioneers and the North Dakota State Bison. So long from Magnus Arena, where the Pioneers have taken down the Spartans. Be sure to join us tomorrow night as men's basketball takes on North Dakota State right here at 7 o'clock. This has been a presentation of Altitude Sports and Entertainment, your HD home for DU Gymnastics. For myself, Tyler Mon, Marcy Jenkins, our entire crew, including Brad Thompson, who will be back with you next month. Thanks for tuning in, and so long from Magnus Arena.
Presenting those Beam Awards today is Dr. Nancy Sasaki. In third place, from Denver with a score of 985. Let's hear it for Emma Brown. In second, from San Jose State with a score of 9875. Let's hear it for Emma Millen. And in first place, from San Jose State with a score of 9.9, Lauren McPherson. Thank you, Dr. Nancy Sasaki. Now we have the scores for floor. Presenting our floor awards today is Faculty Athletics Representative Professor Keith Miller. In third place, from the University of Denver with a score of 9875, a round of applause and a lot of screams for Bella Mabanta. In second, from the University of Denver with a score of 9925, let's hear it for Abby Thompson. And in first place with a score of 9975, a huge round of applause for Lindsey Brown. Thank you, Faculty Athletics Representative Professor Keith Miller. And finally, last but not least, we have the all-around scores. And presenting the all-around scores is Dean Frederick Mayer. In third place, from San Jose State University with a score of 39.35, let's hear it for Jada, Missouri. in second. From the University of Denver with a score of 39.45. Let's hear it for Riley Mundell. And in first place, from the University of Denver with a score of 39.475, let's hear it for Lindsey Brown. Thank you to our gymnasts for competing here today. Just as a reminder, there will be an autograph session in the West Concourse. Be sure to stop by the West Concourse before you leave to get your favorite gymnast autographs. On behalf of Denver Gymnastics, thank you for joining us for today's meet. We are excited to have you home with us again on Sunday, February the 6th, as we host New Hampshire. Be sure to secure your tickets now at denverpioneers.com to join us right here at Magnus Arena. Thank you, and please